Okay. What's up? Welcome, everybody. This is Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. This is one of those head-spinning days, and the fantasy landscape really may have changed quite a bit with some huge injuries. Very sorry to see it. Really stinks, but James Conner and Najee Harris with serious injuries. Ceedee Lamb leaving early in the game. It was that kind of day. Mike Evans also injured, so we will update you on everything. Terry McLaurin left with a quad injury, but you know what? We're gonna be happy. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna recap the Sunday action, and Heath and I are gonna be watching Chiefs-Giants together in about 45 minutes or half hour. All right. Your number one quarterback right now going into Sunday Night Football is
Caleb Williams.
Correct. Your number one running back is
Jonathan Taylor.
Correct. Your number one
is correct.
Wide receiver is?
Oh, it's who we all knew it would be. Heath, go ahead.
Number one wide receiver?
Yeah.
He's one of your winners for this week.
Oh, Trey Tucker, yeah.
Trey Tucker.
I told somebody to sit him for probably Harold Fannin.
Someone asked you. And your number one tight end?
Dun, it's time to play the game. Dun, dun.
I guess
Double H. Hunter Henry.
Fun fact, week 1, I started Cooper Kupp over Hunter Henry, and Henry outscored him by 18 points. Yeah. Week 2, I started Hunter Henry over Cooper Kupp, and Kupp outscored him by 14 points. And week 3, I started Cooper Kupp over Hunter Henry.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Could you just do the world a solid and start Cooper Kupp over Hunter Henry every week? Or at least let us know who you start so we know to go with the other guy?
Yeah, no, I can't take it. Hunter Henry was on waivers week 1. I picked him up. I started him week 2. I dropped him for week 3. Okay. Anyway, biggest winner, biggest loser. Who wants to be the winner guy? Who wants to be the happy guy?
Dave,
who's the biggest winner coming out of week 3?
I'm going to do a 2-for-1. Rookie running backs. Quinshon, Judkins, and Omarion Hampton. Hampton's is a little bittersweet because of the Najee injury, but it's fantasy football. We have to be real about these things. And thank goodness he's on the shelf because Omarion Hampton is going to dominate playing time, and we're going to see Hampton rock and roll. We saw him as a big factor in the passing game. His rushing average could be a little bit better. That offensive line could be a little bit better. But Omarion Hampton has arrived, and he's still got more meat on the bone. You can start him confidently as a number 2 fantasy runner. Was I too excited?
A little.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
no one was rooting for Najee this year. Everybody was hoping for
Doesn't matter.
Everybody that's got Hampton, they're excited with me. All the Najee fans, they're not going to be.
I don't care about the Najee fans. The man, like, his career might be over. I'm sorry, Najee.
No.
I hope it's not over. Now you're making me feel really bad if his career is over.
All right, so his career is not going to be over. Come on, he's a young man. Probably tore his Achilles. The preliminary reports are that for Najee Harris, and then of course Quinshon Judkins. I have a buy or sell about Quinshon Judkins a little bit later, but he didn't light it up necessarily. Well, he scored a touchdown.
He was fantastic.
He was dominated the running back touches, and he actually ran the most routes among Cleveland running backs. All right, so we got another one about him a little bit later. Heath, negative Heath. Who's the big loser?
So, if I never send my names in first, so I don't ever have the biggest loser. But I'll steal one from Dave and say Chase Brown. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Was that a miserable performance from the entire Bengals offense and defense? They were all terrible. I'm not sure anybody was worse than Chase Brown, who at least he didn't lose his fumble. Might have a negative rush average by the end of next week because he just keeps going the wrong direction. They can't block. He can't make anybody miss. The offense is terrible.
Skyline chili is overrated.
Stop right there. Everything you said about Chase Brown, I mean, everyone's really worried. 10 carries for 3 yards, 4 catches for 17 yards. Mm-hmm. But you said the offense is terrible, and that has not been the case with Jake Browning. He's usually pretty good. Was this a 1-week blip? Or
well, not a 1-week blip for Chase Brown.
No.
Because even when Joe Burrow was there, Chase Brown was terrible. His yards before contact is way down. His yards after contact is way down. His broken tackles are way down. He was a day 3 running back, one of the only ones one of the only guys that really profiled, like, I'll admit it, DeAndre Swift, like Tony Pollard, like a lot of guys we were concerned about, is like, are these the dead zone running backs that we're really only drafting this high because they look like they're going to get all the work? And we didn't ask that question about Chase Brown.
Oh, we did.
We just drafted him in round 2.
I still
And it's terrible.
I think it's very dependent on Burrow. He's got, I don't know, did anybody get a carry other than him today? Because going into the game, he got he had every single carry. Yeah, P. Ryan got 4.
P. Ryan led them in rushing yards.
He has going into the game every single carry for the Bengals. And if you have that role on the Joe Burrow Bengals, you would have been good.
Chase Brown or Tony Pollard rest of the season?
Chase Brown.
I don't know why.
Because of Spears. But also barf for both of them. No, I don't disagree with this take at all. Dave, how about you, Chase Brown or Tony Pollard?
I mean, I want to say Chase Brown because I don't think the Bengals offense is this bad, but I mean, week 1, he had 13 PPR points. He had 13 PPR points. That was obviously a game with Burrow. And we thought, okay, he can get better than that. 2 games since combined is 14.5 PPR points. I think
you know what, though?
It's play a lot. I think he's still going to be decent. I just don't think he's going to come close to returning 2nd round value. And if you trade him right now, you might not get 8th round value for him. So you're stuck.
Go ahead.
I overreacted. It's okay. He gets the Broncos next week, and then the Lions, and then the Packers, and then the Steelers. It'll be fine.
Good.
He's in trouble. I'm sitting him. Yeah, he's a stinker, Chase Brown, no question.
So hold on a second. We're going to talk about some other running backs that have underwhelmed. We should probably make note of those that we would try and trade for and maybe use as a stopgap until we feel more confident about Chase Brown. Like Trey Benson, for example.
Oh, come on. Obviously, I'd rather have Trey Benson rest of season. I think everyone would, I assume.
I think
we don't have a
I think so. So yeah. James Conner, yeah. All right. So that's what we're going to get into now. Let's get to the big news here. James Conner left in the 3rd quarter. We don't know exactly what it is. Looked like an ankle injury. Looked bad. Trey Benson, 80% rostered. Obviously, should add him. 10 carries, 42 yards. He's going to be a guy who gets most of his yards on 1 carry. He makes big plays.
And Amari DiMercado had a terrible drop in the game, so hopefully they won't use him quite as much.
No, they're gonna though. He was already their 3rd down back as soon as Conner got hurt.
So
they've been using him in that role for 2 years. Heath.
Trey Benson. I mean, what do we think? Kind of like a 2nd round value going forward, 3rd round value?
Oh, no.
3rd
or 4th. And honestly, like you're only going to get 8th round value in trade for Chase Brown, but I still might take him over Benson rest of season.
Say right now, I lost James Conner in our podcast league, and 14-team league. There's just no running backs. I don't really have a backup. I think I'm going to offer Ladd McConkey for Trey Benson if I find out Conner's out for the year.
So that is the one team of mine this year that's good. I might still have. No, I don't have another extra running back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no one does.
I mean, I do have Travis Etienne, Ken Walker, and Quinshon Judkins.
Oh,
but I don't have a 4th.
No. All right, but that's kind of how I think. Like Trey Benson's got a great opportunity here.
Yeah.
Want to poll that one? Can we do that?
Ladd McConkey. Yeah, let's do it. Thomas.
YouTube poll: Chase Brown versus Trey Benson.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do Ladd McConkey.
You know, it would be almost as sad as Trey Benson versus Chase Brown.
What?
Jerry Jeudy versus Marvin Harrison.
That's
or DeAndre Swift versus Alvin Kamara.
The thing is, Dave, I know fantasy football audiences well enough by now, and you do too. If I throw Chase Brown versus Trey Benson up, I'll do it on Twitter. It's going to be at least 80% Trey Benson.
Right, because of recency bias, of course.
But not just that. Like, Chase Brown sucks. And, like, this is really bad. And I'll do it. I'll humor you. Okay, other big news. Najee, we talked about that. So, Omarion Hampton. All right, what are you thinking for Omarion Hampton? Now, listen, they are a good team.
Those guys.
They're a good team. He still didn't run the ball great. He made it. He got the touchdown, but he also had 6 catches for 59 yards. But they were trailing in this game. They did win. But they got the Giants next week. They got Commanders, should be good. Then, Miami. I guess my point is, if he's not doing this in the passing game, is this actually maybe the peak of Omarion Hampton's value, or do you think we got this opportunity? Let's just see it through and see what happens.
We're working under the assumption that Najee's not going to come back for this season. Yeah. And I think Hampton, who had 88% of the workload, or of the snap share, I should say, after the Najee injury, I think he's taking off. This is it. And so we love what we saw as far as the catches go, and that'll be in games where the Chargers are competitive. And even in the games where they're leading, you could still see at least a couple of grabs for Hampton. And I think his rushing average will work out, and he's going to be in short yardage. This is a big plus. Huge opportunity.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb thinks he'll be ready next week. That would be against the Green Bay Packers. So at least it seems like we've avoided, I'm not going to take him at his word necessarily, but we've avoided a serious injury with CeeDee Lamb.
It's better than a report that says that he's, in a boot or something in the locker room. Like,
I was wishing he would put a boot on. Why is he walking around on the sideline? Like, start resting it now.
Do we have any updates on Mike Evans, as Chris Godwin should be back next week against the Eagles, or Terry McLaurin is at Atlanta next week?
I thought Terry McLaurin scored on that play.
No, he definitely did not.
I thought he did.
I did it at first glance, but unless I'm crazy, you saw the replay?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looked clearly down, but all right.
I mean, the replays don't really tell us anything, because it looks like on the replay the Eagles false start on every tush push, but they don't.
They did it again today, by the way. But do we have any updates on Evans or McLaurin?
Not that I have seen.
Okay. Carson Wentz is going to start next week. He faces the Steelers. All right, so we do have some more news and notes, but those are the big ones you need to know about. And football fans, you got to bring that playoff energy to your pro football bets all season long with this Pro Football Boost Pack from BetMGM. It gives you 3 ways to boost your payout on a winning bet. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your boost pack, then place any pro football bet and apply one of the tokens. And make sure to bet up to the minimum stake, odds, and legs specified on the token. And if your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. From opening kickoffs to game-winning drives, this Pro Football Boost Pack is your ticket to unforgettable moments this season. So don't wait on the sidelines. Join the action with BetMGM. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll take a little break here. No, let's do buy or sell. Buy or sell real quick here. Buy or sell. Quentin Johnston is the best Chargers wide receiver going forward.
So.
Why? He's crushing them right now.
Keenan Allen's better.
Well, yeah, that's true, actually. I don't know if do we have updated stats for them?
Probably.
What
do you want to know?
Chargers. I got Quentin Johnston. No, that's not. That's only 2 stats. Give me the stats.
I got it. I've got all 3 games.
Give me the season-long stats. Go
ahead. Keenan Allen leads in targets. 28 targets, 19 catches, 194 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 in each game. He's been marvelous. Quentin Johnston, 24 targets, 14 catches, 239 yards. He also has 3 touchdowns, did not score this week. Boo-hoo, 14.9 PPR points. Ladd McConkey, 3 games, 21 targets, 15 catches, 163 yards, 0 touchdowns.
So rank them rest of season. You have to.
Ladd, Keenan, Quentin.
We're all hesitating. We want to put McConkey.
Ladd, Keenan, Quentin.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what we're conditioned to say. It certainly looks like Ladd is the best receiver of the 3, but it's not by a big margin. Like, they're all very tight together. I think if you've got any one of the 3, you've got a starter for your fantasy team.
All right, buy or sell. Quinshon Judkins is the best rookie running back going forward. Hi, Jamey.
That's a good one. It's a really good one.
Sell. I'm going to sell.
I'll sell if I get the field.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Jamey, why are you selling that? Quinshon Judkins is the best rookie running back going forward.
Because Hampton is now in that spot with the injury to Najee Harris.
Are we not even thinking Jeanty?
Not at the moment.
What a bummer.
It sucks.
All right. Buy or sell. You should sell high on A.J. Brown right now.
Sell.
So.
You You know why I'm saying it though, right? Because they were
Yes.
trailing big in this game. Finally, it unleashed something, but they're so conservative when they can be, which should be
He
most.
looked awesome. I will say this though: if Lane Johnson is out, their offense could be a little bit tough to trust from a run perspective to the same degree.
Saquon hit the wall. No good anymore.
All right. So we'll just stick it out with AJ Brown against Tampa Bay next week. Hopefully a shootout there. Yes, he looked insanely good. So at least we can think he's not injured in any way.
Right.
Buy or sell high on, I put the Bears here, but I think it would really be Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. You should sell high on Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze right now.
So
I would sell Caleb. I would be selling Odunze for something awesome only.
Agreed.
I think Caleb might be a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
And this was a little bit confusing the way I did it. I'm sorry. Yes, when we say sell, when I say you should sell AJ Brown and they say sell, it means you should not sell AJ
Right.
Brown.
Right.
And when I say you should sell Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze and they say sell, it means you should not sell them. So
I almost think that Heath could come up with some sort of version of this that could help us separate with all the buys and sells that you have.
I don't know what we'd call it, but we'll think of something. We'll take a break and we'll come back and give you some winners and losers, early look at the waiver wire, and much more after this on Fantasy Football Today.
When you need your sports news all the time,
We've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
Okay, Twitter poll. Who would you rather have rest of season, Trey Benson or Chase Brown? PPR, 70% for Benson, 30% for Chase Brown. Jamey, since you're just joining us, before we get into the rest of the news and notes, give me your thoughts on the huge day in fantasy, unfortunately, with these injuries. Trey Benson and Omarion Hampton with big opportunities.
Hampton looked great. Took advantage of the situation and hopefully the sign of things to come. I love that they were throwing in the ball and hopefully that continues. Benson is going to be the one that I think is a wild card here, just because how much will they just put all of it on his plate, or will they put all of it on his plate? But clearly big opportunity and should be rostered in every league.
Would you rather have what round, if we were drafting today, like what round do you think? Oh, are you there, Jamey? What round would you think Trey Benson? That's okay. Like a round 3, 4 kind of player. What do you think for Benson? I'm sorry,
round 4 at the earliest.
Under the assumption Connor's out for the year, you're saying round 4 at the earliest.
Yeah, I mean, we were drafting Connor in that range at the earliest, and I don't think Benson is as polished a player as James Conner. That's probably an obvious statement. And so, again, will they give it all to him? DeMarcado had a bad drop in the game. So we'll see if he's the third down back. Who knows what they're going to do to try and enhance their backfield, because they're not going with just the current group of guys that they have there. So, I mean, I hope it's Benson. It's a great opportunity for him.
All right. Back to the rest of the news and notes here. Travis Etienne had a touchdown today, but I think we should not count it in fantasy because they let him score. And this time I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Nico Collins, Nico Collins ended up with a pretty big day. It was pretty lucky. Busted coverage, 50-yard touchdown.
We've got so many guys that we liked that were terrible. Let's not poo-poo the guys that were good.
I think it's important, though, to note that it wasn't.
CJ Stroud stinks.
Yeah, that offense stinks. I mean,
Who's worse, CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
Lawrence. He's horrible.
I think Lawrence stinks more because Stroud has less help at the moment.
Right.
Like, the offensive line is such a disaster. The run game is such a disaster. I think if they were both in ideal situations, Stroud would be better.
If Stroud were on Jacksonville right now, would he be better than Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, I think so.
I think you have to say yes.
100%.
I think so.
Alec Pierce left with a concussion. De'Ami Brown, Jacksonville, left with a shoulder injury. Tight end news, Colston Loveland left with a hip injury in the first half. Only one target in this game for Cole-Komet. Michael Mayer left in the first quarter. Jatavian Sanders left in the second half with an ankle injury. Big offensive line news would be Lane Johnson, as Jamey mentioned, the Eagles' right tackle. I remember a few years ago, I feel like he missed a few games, and they did struggle a little bit. Green Bay offensive tackle. Green Bay lost 2 offensive linemen, Zach Tom, who came into the game banged up, and Aaron Banks, a tackle and a guard. Oh yeah, they have been pretty banged up. They'll throw up 40 next week at Dallas. Cleveland offensive tackle DeJuan Jones left in the first half. Chargers guard Mekhi Becton left with a concussion, and Bengals guard Dalton Risner left in the second half. On defense, we did have some big time injuries here. Sauce Gardner head injury. Derek Stingley injured ribs. Trayvon Diggs left with an injury. Washington starting safety Will Harris broke his leg. Minnesota defensive tackle Javon Hargrave left with an injury. Nick Bosa, that might be the biggest one. Sorry for burying the lead there. But Nick Bosa left in the first half for the 49ers. They're getting Jacksonville next week, and they only gave up 13 points. Was it 16-13 was the final there? And Tampa Bay defensive back Christian Ezean left with a quad injury. Jamie, have you started working on the waiver wire notes yet?
I have. I don't have it in front of me, though, unfortunately. Sorry.
Any
I can tell you
names?
some of the names. A lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks.
What do we got?
Well, the running backs, there's not a lot of great options. I'm trying to remember who. Tyjae Spears is definitely on the list. Jeremy McNichol's on the list. Ollie Gordon's on the list. It's not a great list of running backs there. Receivers, I would still look at Christian Kirk. I know he didn't have a great game, but he had 8 targets. Obviously, Trey Tucker. He's going to be the headliner. We'll see how he comes out once I do my rankings. I don't know how everybody else will feel about it, but this is a receiving core that feels like it's a little bit in flux right now. And the way that Geno Smith is throwing the ball. But the quarterbacks really are the ones that I think you're looking at, again, just based on how the position is unfolding. Geno Smith with a great matchup this week, my God, going into week 4, coming off the game that he just had. Mariota again, if he starts. Carson Wentz against the Steelers. He is going to start. And then the tight ends, you mentioned the Loveland injury. Komet has a good matchup going into next week. We'll see how he does. I don't have everything in front of me, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
But what we will do when we
What's
do Express on Monday? We will have it all then.
We sure will. Winners and losers. Okay, Dave already went through his winners, Quinshon Judkins and Omarion Hampton. Jamie's got 2 Vikings. What a day for the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Mason and TJ Hockenson. Mason with 16 carries, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hockenson, 5 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets, and they barely threw in this game. So how much confidence do you have in them, Jamie, going forward at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, and then a bye?
A lot of confidence against Pittsburgh, based on how he played today, and getting Darisaw back was huge. So I wonder if it's a game where maybe more competitive. Does he have an opportunity to catch the ball at all? Carson Wentz only threw the ball 20 times today. So, but this was what you hope for, every time he gets going back to now the last 7 games, 14 or more touches. He's been over 15 PPR points, or averaged more than 15 PPR points per game. So this was as good as it gets for a guy that didn't have any work in the passing game.
Yeah, that's Mason. Now Hockenson, they're going to get Addison back next week. So what are we thinking in regards to that?
Well, again, this is Carson Wentz. This is what he does. He throws to his tight ends. He threw 2 touchdowns to his tight ends today. So this is the kind of quarterback that he is. And as long as he's going to start, I think Hockenson remains in play. So I think he can average 6 targets per game. I think he can catch 5 passes a game. I think he can get 49 or more yards a game. Will he score? This is his first touchdown in the regular season since 2023. He had a touchdown in the playoffs last year.
That's right.
Didn't score at all in the regular season last year coming back from the ACL tear. But, based on the tight end play at this point, there's been a lot of up and down performances at the position. I don't know how many people will value him more or less. And again, I haven't, done complete rankings yet, started to do the early tight end rankings, but like Hunter Henry versus TJ Hockenson at this point, two pretty solid games for Henry, 1 solid game for Hockenson, but the first with his quarterback, it's just encouraging to see that he performed at this level.
Last question, we'll move on. And for all of you guys, do you think Carson Wentz can permanently take this job, for the rest of this year from JJ McCarthy? Or do you think when McCarthy's healthy, he will, basically without question, be the starter?
I asked Pete Prisco this watching the game, and he said pretty adamantly no, that when McCarthy's healthy, he's back as the starter. I would think that if he goes undefeated, Wentz, that they will push McCarthy's injury down the line as long as they can. And then if Wentz turns into Wentz, they throw McCarthy back in there. when he's 100% healthy.
All right. Heath, your winners are. Hold on. Your winners are Pittman and Trey Tucker. Second time in Trey Tucker's career, he's had consecutive games with a target per out run rate of 18% or higher. And he scored 40 points today with 8 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns on 9 targets. But let's start with Pittman. 6 for 73 and a touchdown on 6 targets.
And that doesn't sound that impressive, except they threw 25 times and they threw for 228 yards.
Right. I was going to say, I think you might have the wrong Colt as one of your winners.
Jonathan Taylor?
I thought maybe. I know he didn't.
He was already a must-start running back. I didn't
No, No, I thought maybe he didn't score that many fantasy points. I thought maybe you were going to come around on Daniel Jones.
No, I mean, he had 17 fantasy points. This is a fantasy football show.
Okay. Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman. Like week 1, he was clearly the top target over Josh Downs. Week 2, it was Josh Downs. Week 3, it was Pittman again. And I think you feel a little bit better about him being the number 1 option in this pass offense. And he clearly has a great connection with Daniel Jones, who is playing much better than I expected. And you should call him Indiana Jones.
I'm sorry if you just said this, but Michael Pittman, please tell me you didn't say this, should have had a touchdown in all 3 games. Did you say that?
No.
Okay. Ran a crossing route, got open. Throw was maybe a little bit low, but he almost had a touchdown last week. Okay. And then Trey Tucker, are we really going to buy into this?
Well, I think it's interesting because there's something positive to take from all 3 of Trey Tucker's games. Week 1, he only had 3 targets, but he had the long touchdown, had 2 catches for 54 yards, scored 13 fantasy points. Last week against the Chargers, he had 8 targets. He just didn't have a good game. And this was the first game where he had a lot of targets and he had a good game. At the very least, he's going to be one of the top ads off the waiver wire because you can't leave a guy that goes 8 for 145 and 3 touchdowns on the waiver wire. So that's a big winner to go from somebody we were all ignoring to somebody that everybody's maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are adding.
And he gets the Bears.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason.
I wonder if we have a Brock Bowers problem because of Jacoby Myers and now Trey Tucker and Geno Smith not saying, oh, there's that guy. Let me throw to him.
No, I wonder how healthy Brock Bowers is. They said today on the broadcast he's still wearing the brace.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, the first 3 quarters of the season, he had a 30% target share. And then he's basically been an afterthought the last 2 weeks.
All right, let's go to our losers here.
Well, I guess we could talk about when we get to the game, but let's say you picked up Juwan Johnson when you saw Brock Bowers was injured. Who are you starting next week?
I'm still starting.
Bowers.
Without question, because it's the Bears. But if it wasn't the Bears,
no, I would take Bowers. Hey, we're not there yet, right?
I'm not saying it's for anybody. It's for the guy that's been fantastic through 3 games.
Johnson wasn't so great today, was he? What do you have, like 10 points? Am I wrong?
I think he was at 11.
I think he still had
6
8
for
targets?
51.
6 for 51. Yeah.
Right. A big catch kind of helped him out late.
All right, let's go to the losers here. Jerry Jeudy and Jacory Croskey-Merritt are the losers for Heath. Jeudy with 1 catch for 17 yards on 5 targets. And Bill had 8 carries, 26 yards, and a touchdown, and 1 catch against the Raiders. Why are they losers?
Jerry Jeudy because he's terrible. He did have a pass interference in the end zone, but he also dropped it. The Browns have 4 players right now with a 15.5% target share or higher, and 0 players with a 19% target share. Joe Flacco is spreading the ball around like crazy, and it's difficult to guess on a week-to-week basis which one it's going to be. And it stinks. And Jerry Jeudy's playing terribly.
He's going to get dropped in 10-team leagues.
Yeah, I was going to say,
he might get dropped in some 12-team leags.
Would you pick him up if he got dropped?
And then he'll probably go have 8 catches for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, because that's what Jerry Jeudy has done in the past.
If you saw him on waivers, would he be an automatic ad for you?
It would depend on my roster. Not automatic.
Okay.
Not like blind. And then Bill comes out and is on the bench to start the game. And it's Chris Rodriguez. And then Jeremy McNichols has a huge run for a touchdown.
Okay.
By the way, yeah, go ahead.
Bill is not the clear starting running back for the Washington Commanders.
He's not yet. He hasn't been the starter at any point so far this season. I don't know how many first quarter snaps he's even played.
And he wasn't particularly good today.
He wasn't. 3.3 yards per carry, got saved by the touchdowns. He had a catch. That's kind of good for him, I guess.
He
And
was their least efficient rusher.
It was kind of an accident.
And Debo was back in the running game with 3 carries for 18 yards.
How injured is McLaurin?
We don't know. We haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
All right, so stay patient with Bill Croskey-Merritt. He was started in 49% of leagues. Jerry Jeudy was only started in 25% of leagues. I mean, the one thing this was the Packers.
Right.
The last 2 games, he gave you between 9.1 and 11.6 PPR fantasy points, which stinks, but it doesn't necessarily bury you. This game, 2.7 fantasy points buries you. But, it was the Packers. They are amazing. Did you guys know the Browns won the game?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do we have, like 3 blocked field goals in a 12-minute span or something?
Yeah,
It was 5 for the day.
All right, Jamey, your losers are Jordan Love. You picked 2 guys who are going to be the conference players of the week next week. Jordan Love gets the Cowboys and Ashton Jeanty. No, I'm just kidding. Ashton Jeanty gets the Bears. But you're right. They were losers today. 13 points for Love and 6.3 fantasy points for Jeanty. 17 carries, no catches.
Love was just under duress the entire day. His offensive line was not doing many favors. So the only thing that's a little concerning is he hasn't been great fantasy-wise the first 2 weeks of the season. And he's dealing with a lot of injuries right now. I mean, Jaden Reed's out. And Tucker Kraft, you mentioned, Heath, about Brock Bowers, like how healthy is he? How healthy was Tucker Kraft today? So a little worried. And the one thing that we haven't seen, which we were hoping for, is he's still not running. He's still not giving you that extra boost that we thought might happen because he was healthy. Remember last year, the knee injury, the groin injury, and maybe that was the reason why he's not running. So I'd like to see him use his legs a little bit more. I thought that might have been the case today, just to, move him around in the pocket a little bit. But yes, there's plenty of bounce back potential next week against Dallas. And in the case of Jeanty, we have a problem here. This is just bad at this point, and the more that they talk about it, the less that it seems like they're trying to fix it, because all those zeros, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, the fact that he's not involved in the passing game is extremely, extremely problematic, because he has that in his game. They have to find a way to get him some easy touches and getting the ball in space. It's just trying to have him run behind that offensive line, as bad as it is just not working right now.
Okay. So you're taking Hampton over Jeanty rest of season.
Going into week 4, yes.
Taking Judkins over Jeanty?
Going into week 4, yes.
I'll wait until I see Jeanty. They get the Bears next week, you said?
Yeah.
I'll wait until I see Jeanty against the Bears.
Jobu week for Jeanty.
By the way, YouTube.
I'm not sitting Jeanty.
No.
Don't make that mistake. But rest of season, the way these other 2 guys look and situations right now,
All right, YouTube poll. Who would you rather have if James Conner's out for the season? Trey Benson or Ladd McConkey? 740 votes. 2/3 of them are saying Trey Benson. Wow. But on my Twitter poll, it's it's McConkey is winning. All right. And Dave's losers. Yeah. All right. First of all, I want to say something because I keep forgetting, and it's 35 minutes into the show. The Patriots running backs fumbled 3 times this week. That's the other thing that might change the fantasy football landscape. We will talk about that soon. Travion Henderson got 9 carries after Antonio Gibson's fumble. So Ramondre fumbled twice, Gibson fumbled once, and then Travion Henderson came in, played a lot, and sucked. But that's another thing that could change things in the fantasy landscape. And another thing would be if Brian Thomas Jr. ever did anything, but Derek Stingley got hurt in the first half, if not the first quarter of this game. And Brian Thomas Jr. did nothing until a late, long catch, and he had 2 catches for 55 yards. He's a loser for Dave. And Chase Brown, we already talked about. But Brian Thomas Jr., what on earth is going on here?
It's a lack of connection with Trevor Lawrence. It's an injury that might keep him from going all out play after play. It's a Jacksonville offense that is okay running the ball, but they haven't been able to get it going throwing the ball. And we can no longer look at BTJ and say, all right, this is somebody who is a slam dunk, must start, top 15 overall pick type of player. The numbers stink. I don't even know if we'd take him in round 3 at this point. We probably wouldn't. And it's not all on him entirely. It's hard when you're playing hurt. I don't want to question his effort. We kind of did that after last week. But Lawrence is a problem. other pass catchers in this offense aren't that big of a problem. De'Ami Brown got hurt. He still didn't do a ton. Still only had 6 targets. You've got to be worried after 3 weeks with BTJ.
So there's some things going on there with him apparently that seem to be an issue that maybe we'll find out about. I think you see Parker Washington is somebody that they really like. 11 targets for him today, so he's getting a lot more attention, I think, than a lot of people expected. The concern would be is that not only whatever's going on with Thomas is that Trevor Lawrence and Thomas are not on the same page, and I don't want to say he's somebody you have to bench at this point because you know what the upside is, and you know that at some point there's going to be a stretch of games where he gets hot. But if your team is very good at wide receiver, like you're not benching him for Trey Tucker, for example, but if your team is really good at receiver, so you got Ricky Pearsall and Tedrow McMillan and some of these guys that have had good weeks, and now maybe a Buka with a Mike Evans injury, like all these guys were drafted after Brian Thomas, you're probably benching Brian Thomas.
He doesn't have a double-digit PPR point game yet this year.
You could bench him for all 3 Chargers receivers.
You can bench him for all 3 Chargers receivers.
He gets 49ers next week. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and tell you what you need to know from every game after this.
The crowd loves champions. Gladiator 2 is an epic spectacle. To amuse you is my only wish.
The glory is yours, not mine.
Very good. Gladiator 2, rated R. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I don't know if there's anything that really stood out at the goal line. We did see Chris Rodriguez get some goal line carries. We did see Jacory Croskey-Merritt get a 1-yard touchdown run. We saw Rico Dowdle mix in near the goal line, which was weird, and he got a 1-yard touchdown run. Jaylen Warren had 2 goal-to-go carries in the first quarter, couldn't get in. Then after a defensive pass interference, they had 1st and goal from the 1, and Kenneth Gainwell scored the touchdown. That was a little annoying. Miles Sanders got some work near the goal line. I still think Javante's the most likely guy there. So there's that. And
Kyle Monangai should never play inside the 10-yard line.
Because he ran backwards?
Yeah, that was awful.
Ramondre Stevenson, almost touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson fumbled going into the end zone, and then he's basically benched after that. But he did come back during their most important drive of the game. He came back for their last drive, so that should tell you something.
It's very telling.
Kyron Williams had a touchdown call back on a holding penalty. Jerry Jeudy, I said kind of nearly had a touchdown. Heath talked about that. It was like pass interference, but he still dropped it. Terry McLaurin came up a yard short of a 57-yard touchdown. Then Jacory Croskey-Merritt scored 2 plays later. Marvin Harrison had a bad game. He almost had a huge game. He was wide open for a ball that would have been a chunk play, and he dropped it. Then he dropped the ball in the end zone. But that one was, the first one was how can you drop that? The second one was a tough one. Bo Nix almost had a huge game. He had 2 deep balls to Marvin Mims that were incomplete. One of them,
and one to Sutton.
He's not throwing deep balls well. Big one to Sutton at the end there. And then there was a pass to J.K. Dobbins that was technically behind. It was a lateral, so it was a run. It was a 19-yard touchdown for Dobbins. That was almost a pass. So Bo Nix was flirting with a big game.
The throw to Sutton, we have DirecTV at the office. It froze. What happened while the ball's in midair?
That's fun. It's a fun game to play if you pause the game. I used to do this with free throws or 3-pointers. I'd pause it and be like, what do we think? You make it or miss it? Just kind of chill by the trajectory. Great game.
Punch you so hard.
Yeah.
You're fun to watch games.
Everyone's got to be on board with it, though. All right, Heath, here we go. Carolina 30, Atlanta 0. This was what a wacky football day. 30-0 Panthers over Falcons.
Drake London has a Michael Penix problem.
Believe it.
Go
I think
on.
the Falcons have a Michael Penix problem.
Yeah, 172 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Second one, not necessarily his fault.
Oh, they were awful throws.
Well, his receiver fell down, though, on the second one. He shouldn't have thrown it anyway, but his receiver fell down.
Quarterback controversy?
What'd you say?
Quarterback controversy?
Nice.
You know who? You want a bold prediction? Kirk Cousins is going to be the Bengals quarterback in the next.
Why the Falcons can't trade Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
They might need to start him in 2 weeks.
All right. Well, anyway, talk more about this Drake London, Michael Penix problem and how you value Drake London.
I've started on my rankings for next week, and I think he was wide receiver 17. He has averaging 9 targets per game, and he's averaging about 54 yards per game. Penix cannot get them into the end zone through the air. and he's not getting the 15 targets per game with Mooney and Pitts both there.
Let me here you go. Ready? Drake London versus Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, and Trey Benson. Where would you rank London?
Second.
Hampton first.
Second, but he's moving down like at about the same rate, a little bit slower than Jeanty is, but not a lot.
London or Brian Thomas?
What do you do with Drake London? I'm sorry to interrupt. If he has a bad game next week against Washington, which just allowed 3 touchdowns to Trey Tucker, different type of receiver, obviously. But Falcons going to their bye after that game. One more stinker from Drake London, and
you're probably relieved that you don't have to start him.
Yeah, for 1 week. And then what happens?
I would be buying low on him if you can because
of the Niners.
I'd be buying low on him if you can because if Cousins does start, that's a big boost.
I still think there's so many targets there. You could think about just buying low on him now. I don't know. Would you trade Quentin Johnston for Drake London?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giants have a kicker issue.
Would you trade Keenan Allen for Drake London?
Yep.
I think I would, but that one made me pause for a second.
Okay, so to the Panthers then. Nothing much to say here. I mean, they only threw 24 passes. Bryce Young only threw 24 passes. So I think business as usual for them. Start Hubbard. Are we worried about Hubbard here? No, he's fine.
He hasn't been great. You've gotten saved by some touchdowns. And so the nice thing is that he's, I think, a very solid number 2 running back. But I don't think there's, right now, especially with the offensive line injuries, I don't think there's the upside to crack the top 12.
All right, guys, let's go to our next game.
He was a half yard away from a touchdown. He had a catch that he was down just before the goal line, and then Rico Dowdle came in and stole the touchdown.
Cleveland 13 and Green Bay 10.
Matthew Golden is ascending and will be the best Packers wide receiver rest of the season.
I believe it, but I don't think it means that he's going to be amazing for fantasy on a consistent basis.
I believe both of those statements.
Well, okay, but do you agree with what Dave said that he won't be amazing for? Is that what you were saying? You agree with Dave?
Yes, I agree with both. I think that Golden will be the best receiver, but I don't think he's going to be a startable fantasy receiver on a week-to-week basis.
Or a boom bust flex type. He might be.
Right. Okay. He had a big catch in this game, saved his bacon a little bit.
It was good to see him get going a little bit, especially in a game where tough defense and Love was struggling. But
Browns defense is so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I know the Packers defense is amazing, but the Browns are so good.
There's 2 teams, I might be missing a third, but the Texans and the Browns defenses are getting wasted.
Yeah. Texans are 0-3. The Texans are 0-3. I can't.
We went through their schedule. Like, you can see a path where they maybe win 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
By
go.
the way, the book on Jordan Love is when he's pressured, he falls apart. It's like most quarterbacks. I say this every time. And that's what the Browns did today. Cowboys aren't going to be able to do that to him next week. You're starting Jordan Love next week.
Josh Jacobs, we talked about it on the pregame show this morning that he had 1 target coming into the game, I think. He had 9 in this game, but he is struggling. This was a tough matchup for him. He's just one of those guys that you put in your lineup, and the touchdowns should come. Hopefully the rushing average will get better. 2 great defenses today. I think it was just reflected in the outcome and the fantasy production. And Cedric Tillman, better than Jerry Jeudy. That's 6 of the last 7. He's 46% roster. Do you think it's a good roster percentage for Cedric Tillman, or do you think that porridge is too hot, too cold, or just right?
What did Cedric Tillman have today?
5 points.
5 points.
PPR points.
I mean, if he stepped on the field, he was basically better than Jerry Jeudy.
No, he did.
They were both terrible. Like Cedric Tillman was awful today. So was Jerry Jeudy.
You can make an argument that all 4 Browns pass catchers can be dropped.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but you can make an argument for it.
Easier to do it with the wide receivers, obviously.
Well, I mean, Fannin is droppable. I don't want to do it, but he's droppable.
Yeah. He might be the one guy I want to hang on to long term.
There's definitely a lot of upside there. But I mean, we're talking about what do you have, 7 for 40 for 52 in the first week?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And
Yeah.
Flacco's thrown how many touchdowns on the season so far?
1? I don't even know.
I just don't think I'm going to drop a rookie tight end that had that many targets the first 2 weeks.
Oh,
after
I'm
a
not
bad
saying
game
you
against the
should,
Packers.
but
Touchdowns.
All
Let's
right,
go on. Let's move to our next
2
game.
touchdowns for Flacco this year.
but you're still talking about a guy that's not rostered in more than 60% of leagues at this point. Like people are going to see what Hunter Henry's doing and these tight ends, and they're going to pivot. I get it.
All right, let's go. Cincinnati at Minnesota. What do we got? Cincinnati with a Minnesota with a 48-10 win.
You should buy low on both Bengals wide receivers. It won't be this bad,
Believe it.
Believe it.
but maybe wait one more week because they play the Broncos next week.
I really think we need to talk about like Chase, yeah, but Higgins, Browning and him just don't do it when Chase is on the field. You guys,
he had a long touchdown last week. It was a bang.
yeah,
bang.
but he doesn't get the targets though. All right, I won't dispute it.
Listen, there's a definite concern, obviously, when you see what just happened to them. Like you can't get away from it. What did the Chiefs do, Heath?
Oh yeah, Giants went for it on 4th down. Chris Jones bats down a Russell Wilson pass.
Nice. I don't think you can't sell T. Higgins right now because you're not getting fair value in return. You shouldn't be starting him right now because we're playing the Broncos next week.
All right,
The schedule does not get easier for them even after next week. They've got like one of the toughest. They've got Detroit and Green Bay after Denver.
Detroit doesn't worry me.
Yeah, Detroit feels like a trip to Aruba at this point, but this whole team's going to Cabo anyway by the time you get to December.
Jacksonville 17, Houston 10.
Travis Hunter is droppable.
Redraft, yeah.
Believe it.
I just can't believe that you've got Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter on the team and you throw the ball 11 times to Parker Washington for 34 yards.
He's the only one that's trying to catch the ball at this point. I mean,
35 of 66 offensive snaps for Travis Hunter today.
Forget about fantasy.
Targets.
They need to make a decision and play him on one side of the ball. This is not working.
Oh, you cannot do that. 3 games into his career, that would almost be a betrayal of him.
Why?
Because they drafted him under the pretense that he was going to play both sides of the ball. I think it's a little early to give up.
Sure looks like they need him more on offense than defense right now.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this because I kind of skipped over Justin Jefferson from last game, and Jefferson's had an okay start to the fantasy season, but not setting the world on fire. He had 5 for 75 on 7 targets today. So let's go through the first and second round wide receivers and how we're feeling about them. So hold on, let me pull up ADP so I don't miss anyone. But obviously,
we're breaking out the worryometer for top 24 wide receivers.
Yeah, you want to do worryometer? We can do that. Worryometer 0 to 10. 10 is I'm freaking out. 0 is he's the best. Jamar Chase.
0.
10 from where I thought. 0 from where I'm starting or sitting him.
Yeah, but it's not about start or sit, I think, because let's sort of incorporate rest of season value. So
I'm not worried the rest of season value.
Round. So you tell me, instead of worryometer, let's do, is he a round 1 pick, a round 2 pick, a round 3 pick, or later? Jamar Chase.
Round 1.
Round 1.
Late round 1.
CeeDee Lamb when he's healthy.
Round 1.
Maybe the number 1.
Yes, the 101.
Justin Jefferson.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Round 1. I want to see another game with Carson Wentz with that competitive.
I'm really curious what that should have been my believe it or not is like, and this was we didn't find anything out in this game, but they were so run heavy the first 2 weeks. And then of course they're run heavy in this game because their defense scores 2 touchdowns.
Malik Neighbors, he's playing right now, but we feel good about him. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
First rounder.
First rounder.
He's probably a first rounder.
Jamie went back to the worryometer. Nico Collins.
Still a first rounder.
Yep.
Second rounder.
At the turn.
Yeah, I can't put him in the first round. He just, that offense.
We're just going to draft like 3 wide receivers in the first round.
Puka has to be at this point.
First rounder.
Brian Thomas Jr.
10.
Round 4.
Round 10. Round 4 for Heath. All right.
Yeah, that sounds about right, man.
Drake London.
3.
He's in that round 3-4 range too.
AJ Brown. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jamie. Drake London.
I'm not going to be surprised there's a quarterback change and things just turn around for him quickly.
AJ Brown.
I'd be surprised if there's a quarterback change. Second round.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we buying Travis Etienne rest of season? Real quick on that.
Tootin looks so much better. The best run that Etienne had was when they let him score.
I know.
I mean, relative to the other low end RB2s, yes, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
All right. Indianapolis 41, Tennessee 20.
You want to break down Nick Chubb's game?
I would love to, but we'll be here 2 hours.
Believe it or not, what are we on? Indianapolis, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, the top 12 quarterback rest of the season.
Believe it.
Not committing to it. Don't believe it.
Heath, do you believe it yet? Are you a Indiana Jones believer?
No, I laid it out, and he didn't quite keep it up, but he was very good. I said I'd move him into borderline top 12 range if he was a starter this week, and he wasn't quite. And then if he's good at the Rams next week, well, then you have to believe it.
I will say this, though, just for the Titans defense. Like, they made Bo Nix look stupid in week 1. They did a pretty good job on Matthew Stafford for a good portion of that game. And Daniel Jones, I thought, looked very solid once again. Just
Yeah, he did.
full
Believe it
command
or
of his
not,
offense.
Alec Iomanner over Calvin Ridley rest of the season.
Believe it.
Kind of have
He's
to.
only going to get better.
Yeah, right. Titans are eventually going to shift how they move those targets around.
Jamie made a good call on Io Manor this morning, and I was like, "What, Eric? Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was a good call." Tony Pollard, luckily he scored, and Cam Ward threw a pass to Tony Pollard, and it did go for a touchdown, but it was to the other team. And that's it for that game. Philadelphia 33 and the Rams 26. Instead of doing a believe it or not, I think we should just talk about. Dave and I were chatting during the game, and he was like, "Man, Jalen Hurts looks rough," and they went down big, and I was like, this could be what they need, right? And I think everybody probably felt that way. Like, make them throw. But it's just not going to happen like this for them typically, So do you try to capitalize on their value at its highest for Hurts? I'll throw them. I don't think so, but for Hurts, for Brown, and for Devontae Smith.
I think for Devontae Smith.
For sure.
Okay. It was, at least, if you didn't see the game, I mean, Jamie said it first. AJ Brown looked so damn good. It was like he was taking like one hand almost and just like that guy on the basketball court that holds it above your head and you try to whack at it and then he moves the ball. He was just like playing it on a different.
There was at least 3 passes where he was covered very well, and just his hands are so amazing.
Yeah.
And he just takes and then he makes a move, and it's just like you want to see more of that. So we watched the games with former general manager Rand Carthon and former Patriots running back, I think he's most famous for that team, Damian Harris. And Damian asked us, where does AJ Brown rank in terms of receivers in the NFL? And I gave my answer, Dave gave his answer, and Damian said he's the best receiver in football if he ever got the opportunities. Like, that's how good he is and what people around the league think of him. Like, he's just so talented. Yeah. Now, you could debate, obviously, Chase and Jefferson, all those things. Clearly, everybody's going to have their own opinion. But, like, you just watch him play. And when he does get these chances, like, you just see how good he is. So you hope that, you don't want to see Lane Johnson miss. But what did we say this morning? They're so boring. Yeah. And this was so much fun. Like, this was a fun game to watch just because of how the ebbs and flows of it based on how things start. Like, Jalen Hurts was getting pummeled as soon as Lane Johnson left the game. Like, he was just getting blasted. And they couldn't run the ball at all. And if you go back to what our narrative was, I'll speak for myself. My narrative was, I know there was some shared thoughts from the collective, but that they were going to struggle to run the ball a little bit this year based on last year. Not to this extent, not this badly, but that they were going to have to throw the ball more, right? We kind of said that. And it played into how we felt about Brown and Smith and Goddard and even Jalen Hurts. And this is what we wanted to see. Like, they could do this. They really can.
They could do whatever they want.
They could do whatever they want. It's a great way to frame it. They could do whatever they want. And so it would be nice to see a little bit more balance because they're so much fun to watch when they do this.
Last question about this game. What round would you draft Devontae Adams in at this point? I honestly think you could make a case for him as a first-round pick.
He had the great touchdown catch and should have had another one. It was a great play by
Blankenship, I think.
I think you're right, Blankenship. But I wouldn't take him in the first round, but he would be. I think still where he was drafted. This thing's appropriate.
Yeah,
for
round
top of the
3. Maybe late round 2. But Puka's an absolute maniac.
I know.
It is.
All right.
This was great for
unbelievable
Kyron. It was great to
watching
see him
with
play like that.
Stafford.
Kyron looked terrific too. Yeah.
He did.
Great game.
Did.
Great game.
Yeah.
Washington 41, Las Vegas 24. Like the quietest 31 fantasy points in quarterback history. It's so weird that Geno Smith threw for 289 and 3 in this game because they got absolutely blasted.
He had a receiver that had 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like he just threw bombs to Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
If I would have said to you guys before the game, Geno's going for 289 and 3, you would have said what about the receiving core?
That Bowers and Jacoby would have had monster games.
Yeah, I mean it's so annoying.
Tucker had 4 catches for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Wow. All right. So what do we got for this game?
Blown out.
We have talked about almost all of these guys, but you missed your sell high window on Deebo Samuel.
Not if McLaurin's hurt.
Right.
Correct.
Also, we didn't have Jaden Daniels today. How many passes did Mariota throw? Couldn't have been many.
21.
Yeah.
You have a must-start quarterback if Jane Daniels is out again.
At Atlanta next week?
Yeah, yes.
Revenge game.
Yep.
Oh. All right. It would be a real revenge game, I think, if he played against Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh. And they're next. Pittsburgh,
He just had
21.
one against Chip Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pittsburgh.
He was on the Raiders, wasn't he? Tripping?
Chip Kelly was on the Raiders or Mariota was on
No,
the Raiders?
Mario
was
was
on the Raiders.
on the Raiders, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
Mariota spent 2 years on the Raiders.
I don't remember that at
He's
all.
got a lot of revenge games.
All right, Pittsburgh 21 and New England 14. Pittsburgh only had the ball for 26 minutes and 40 seconds. The Patriots completely gave this game away.
Yes, they
Gave it
did.
away. Heath, what do we have from a fantasy standpoint?
Trevion Henderson is the second best rookie running back rest of season.
Oh, that's
Don't believe it.
killer.
No, I don't think so.
Believe it or not. I don't believe it because I think the Patriots are going to continue to botch this.
Look, he's got to do better than what he did today. It's not all on them. He's not
Right.
playing.
That's
He's
fair.
not doing enough with his opportunities. Fair, you know?
He had
Okay, so
almost
redrafting
every
is-
single snap after Ramondre's 2 fumbles and Gibson's 1 fumble.
You're redrafting the rookie running backs right now. What's the order?
Hampton 1, Jeanty 2, Judkins 3. I'm
Henderson.
debating Bill versus Henderson.
Oh,
I'd be Henderson way over
And
Bill.
there's Tootin. It has to be.
And
I mean,
Tootin,
Tootin's
yeah, Tootin might
it's
be out
gotta
of both those guys. I think
Yeah.
he is.
And then,
Who am I
I'll
missing?
pick up Harvey on waivers after the draft.
Jesus.
I've got another one. All the Patriots wide receivers are droppable.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Question. Do you think, would you rather have Jalen Warren or Trevion Henderson?
You got to do the Drake May segment.
Oh, Mike is dissing Heath for dissing Drake May.
Yeah, 22 points. Mike wins. Mike's 2-1.
He could have such a big day today, man.
What about a
Yeah,
huge
oh my
game?
God, yes.
He also could have thrown 2 interceptions. They were both dropped.
Mhm.
And he did throw 1, right?
He did.
Yeah.
And fumble.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's
Patriots
mistake.
gave this game away.
He's mistake prone.
5
So-
turnovers.
Yeah. What, Jalen Warren or Trevion Henderson rest of season?
Warren,
I'll
I
take
think you
Warren.
should buy him right now.
Warren could be such a monster. He's like you said, you know, he doesn't have the touchdown in the beginning part of the game. Like he's like on the cusp of like just being a stud.
Tampa Bay 29 and the Jets 27. A wild finish to this one. Game-winning field goal after the Jets took a crazy lead with a blocked field goal of their own that they returned for a touchdown. But Heath, the Bucks win by 2. And what do we got?
You should buy Brees Hall
Don't believe
right
it.
now.
9 carries for 21 yards, 4 catches for 31 yards for Brees Hall. And you're saying you should buy him. And Jamie says he does not believe that. Dave?
I don't mind buying him as long as it's at an appropriate price.
I just think that his value will be more a month from now than it is right now. Dolphins, Cowboys, Broncos, Panthers, Bengals in the next 5 weeks for the Jets.
I love that.
That's a good point.
It's a great call. Yeah. I guess I only saw a few of his carries, but he gained 21 yards. One of them was a 17-yard run, I think.
Yes.
And I was like, damn, Breece Hall looks good. And then at the end of the game, I saw the box score. He had 4 yards on his other 8 carries.
Does his reception stay up, though, when Justin Fields is playing?
Right. Should have better efficiency. The offensive line's still good. This was a tough matchup for him.
No, but Jamie's right that he probably doesn't get 4 catches because he only had 4 catches in the first 2 games of the season. He probably doesn't get that with Fields.
Probably.
Believe it or not, Emeka Egbuka should have been the number 1 pick in rookie drafts.
Believe it.
What a game he had.
He's such a stud. That catch was ridiculous.
Yeah. The one-handed catch.
And I mean, we may get a week if Godwin's not ready and Evans out of hello target share.
What I don't get is you have Sauce Gardner shadowing Evans for much of the game, and then they run a play like 1st and goal from the 2 or something like that, and you don't have that. That is Mike Evans' territory, and you don't have Gardner on him, and of course he scores a touchdown. You deserve to lose when you do that. All right, we're gonna take one more break. Yeah, let's see what we got here. The Chargers 23 and the Broncos 20.
Cortland Sutton's the top 15 wide receiver rest of the season.
That's an easy believe it. He was basically a top 15 receiver for most of us in draft day.
He was not throughout the week this week.
It was a tough matchup. These are 2 good defenses too. Yeah. He hit such a bad week last week. It was very weird, but he bounced back nicely.
Did any of you guys worry though?
No.
We had a lot of Cortland Sutton questions this morning.
No, I understand why the audience worried because Troy Franklin was great and Sutton sucked. But, I mean, that's going to happen.
You guys, in general, buying or selling J.K. Dobbins? He has scored in every game. He has now scored more than 14 PPR fantasy points in every game.
I'd be selling just because of the injury track record.
I was going to say I'll buy as long as he's healthy.
I'd be buying if I had Chase Brown.
What do you got? Oh, interesting.
Right. I need a running back who I can trust. I can trust this guy.
So you're not selling Chase Brown for J.K. Dobbins?
That's what he just said.
No,
I thought he
don't
was
know
wanting
if I
to
said
add
that.
J.K. Dobbins
I
to the
might want to try and
roster.
give up something else and just keep Chase Brown on the bench and then start J.K. Dobbins until Chase Brown gets better. I don't know if the Dobbins manager would take Chase Brown at this point.
So what do you think his start? I know it, but what do you think his start percentage was, J.K. Dobbins today?
37%.
7%.
45.
47.
Okay.
All right. We talked about the Chargers wide receivers. Is there
He might be my start of the week next week.
anything else? Drop or hold Troy Franklin? 2 catches for 8 yards on 4 targets.
Hold.
Agreed.
All righty. Seattle 44. Oh, just
Would
an
you rather
interesting-
have rest of season, Troy Franklin or Jerry Jeudy?
Jeudy.
Probably Jeudy.
But just an interesting development. Oronde Gadsden Jr. was active for the first time this year, and he had 7 targets for the Chargers and 5 catches for 46 yards. 2% rostered tight end. Seattle.
Herbert threw 47 times.
Okay, Seattle 44, New Orleans 13.
You should just make that sound and not worry about Alvin Kamara. It sucked, but he's fine.
Tough matchup. I hate the targets back down again, but at least he had 18 carries.
I mean, he gets Buffalo next week. Like, not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be great.
Chris Olave is going to set a record for lowest yards per target.
Chris Olave's become Alvin Kamara.
But there's some actual truth to that. Like that's part of Alvin Kamara's target problem in 2 or 3 weeks.
But I having Olave, I feel almost comforted starting him. Like he's a high floor guy in PPR or even half PPR. And one of these days he'll have a good game, but he's just getting so many.
He had 15 fantasy
He had a good
points
game
today.
this week.
In full PPR, he did, yeah. But he's got 37 targets in 3 games.
37 targets, 23 catches, 165 yards. That's 7.2 yards per catch for Chris Olave.
For the past, I don't know, 5 years or so, whatever the case may be, Alvin Kamara has kind of been the poster child for people who hate PPR. Just put a Saints logo.
JSN, very good game. 5 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. And Cooper Kupp, I think maybe we have to look at Cooper Kupp and just say, when are the Seahawks going to have to throw? Week 1, 23 pass attempts, he's horrible. Week 2, 33 pass attempts, he's great. This week, how many pass attempts for, I'm sorry, I know I should know
for
this.
Darnold.
18 for Darnold, yeah. So wasn't a good setup for him. This game was over in the first quarter.
Are you selling Ken Walker?
It was pretty gross.
I might.
Pretty gross, fantastic fantasy day.
It's a pretty gross, fantastic fantasy day, and Charbonnet is going to be healthy at some point, and he's going to potentially get hurt at some point. And so, do you maximize the value now?
I kind of feel the same way.
Yes.
I feel the same way about him as I do ETN, though. It's like there's so many of those RB2s that are just terrible that who am I targeting with him?
Would you rather have Ken Walker or Ashton Jeanty rest of season?
I'd probably still rather have Jeanty.
I would think that's a trade you can make right now.
How about Breece Hall or Ken Walker?
Probably Walker.
I'll take Walker.
Last one, Brian Thomas Jr. or Ken Walker?
I was thinking that exact same one.
Walker.
All right, let's take a break. We got 2 games left. We'll be right back after this on Fantasy Football Today. And we're back. San Francisco 16, Arizona 15. Okay, what do you got, Heath?
Ricky Pearsall is a must-start wide receiver no matter who gets healthy.
Believe it.
No, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it in a 2-receiver league.
I want to see it with Brock Purdy again. I mean, a little bit of an unknown right now of what this will look like with Purdy and the 2 receivers at full strength and Kittle at full strength.
Right. It's just that McCaffrey is just. Does McCaffrey have 25 catches at this point? I mean,
I think he had 25 catches today.
Yeah, he had 10 today.
He's up to 25 on the season. On the
25. I mean, it's just too many. I wish I could believe that because I think everyone sees when Ricky Pearsall gets the ball, he's pretty good. But last week, Juwan Jennings crushed him, and George Kittle's barely played with him. And I don't believe it. I actually was going to say, if I were doing it, it would have been by the small. He's, Pearsall is a great sell high.
He's definitely a sell high candidate.
Right. Because of all the things we laid out, and he took on a Cardinals defense down 2 starters in the secondary.
But
that second half was amazing.
Are never healthy. We do this every year with these guys. Well, when everyone's out, they're never healthy.
No,
but you also have to factor in Ayuk coming back.
While no one else is healthy.
Ayuk will come back too, as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, Pearsall.
Hey, McBride scored. Let's celebrate that.
Who scored?
McBride.
Yeah, that was cool. Pearsall or Brian Thomas Jr.
Oof, Pearsall.
I'll take the chance on BTJ, but
I'll take BTJ.
Thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr., guys?
What Marvin Harrison Jr.
Awful drop.
Yeah, but that's not him. I mean, that's fluky.
He's a number 3 wide receiver who might score 20 fantasy points and he might score 5.
That might have been a 40-yard reception.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I really like him. He's one of my favorite players. He's never complaining about targets. He's like, he was asked about it last week. He's like, are you serious? We don't care about that.
He just wants to.
When I saw him on Hard Knocks, in the Giants Hard Knocks, he was the most, look, I don't know what the real Marvin Harrison Jr. is, but he was so humble. And, I love him. I'm rooting for him.
I really wish he would have caught the touchdown after the drop because that would have been a hell of a catch.
Yeah, for sure. All right, last game, Chicago 31 and Dallas 14.
You should hold Dak Prescott, despite the fact that he plays the Packers this week.
I'll buy it.
As opposed to what?
Dropping him?
I don't think
I think some people are going to.
I'd be surprised if he got dropped. He's throwing the ball so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't drop Dak.
He drops Dak, right? Like he drops back. Yeah, so we're hoping that Lamb plays next week. Thoughts on Javonte Williams?
He said he expects to play.
He said that. Yeah, I don't believe him. I believe that he thinks he expects to play, but I'm not going to just bank on it. But yeah, he expects to play. Yeah. So Javonte, 10 carries, Miles Sanders, 9 carries. Javonte played great. He had that fumble, though, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
that part stunk.
76
That was such a great play. My God.
Tyreek Stevenson. Bro, it's all about the Canes this week. Javonte, like, how are we feeling about him?
Fine.
Javonte, I'd be very thrilled to have Javonte Williams right now.
Yes. Absolutely.
Are you, yeah. I
Say
don't
it.
know if I'm going to be super. I'm not sure I'm going to be super thrilled to start him against the Packers next week.
Right. But
Well, those are
he's
two different
still-
conversations. But to have him rostered, thrilled.
Absolutely.
And
Jacory is the
anything
best tight end in
you
fantasy.
want to talk? How do you feel about having DeAndre Swift, who had? I don't honestly. I know the Cowboys' defense stinks. I think they might have a good run defense. I feel like they've been pretty
I
good
think
against.
Swift isn't a good runner.
DeAndre Swift will make one stupid play every game that you just wonder, like, where he had. There was a dump off pass. He ran into the middle instead of cutting outside. We had
Right.
so much real estate. I don't understand some of the things he does.
I don't know, Heath. You were his biggest supporter. How are you feeling about DeAndre Swift?
Man, he's probably somewhere between RB 24 and 28 right now. I think he's probably going to score between 10 and 12 points every week if he doesn't score a touchdown, and he might score a little more than that if he does. There was more of a rotation this week with Kyle Monongai, but he also does dumb stuff almost every week.
That was dumb.
It's a little uneven because there's some teams that haven't played 3 games yet, but he's currently RB 22 on a per game basis in full PPR.
He's
That
right in his
sounds-
neighborhood, and he's very comfortable. Because white
He
defense, he's got a.
He is 7
Nice.
tenths of a PPR point behind Alvin Kamara.
Can I tell you guys something that's making me really happy right now?
We're just going to send. Dave and I decided before the show. I'm just going to send barbecue to Adam, and Dave's going to send pizza to Jamie because all 4 players are terrible.
The 4 players are Kamara, Swift, Pacheco, and
No, Harrison and Jeudy.
Checo's yours.
Harrison and Jeudy. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, I just want to tell you something that just to end the show on a really positive note, something that's just making me happy right now. Kareem Hunt has each of the first 3 carries for the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. So great.
We got to establish the run.
He's just got all that long hair. He runs so hard.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And I hope your week 3 is going well. We will talk to you on Beyond the Box Score Monday at noon Eastern, youtube.com/fantasyfootball today, or a couple hours later in our podcast feed. Good night, everyone.
Oh, our Espresso. Don't forget that.
Oh, Monday afternoon, early waiver wire express. Good night, everyone.